Center. I'm Urbi Islam with you tonight, and joining with me.
And I'm Mashrufa Hussain. You've just heard the headlines. Moving on to the details. The Cabinet has approved in principle the draft of National Mental Health Act 2017, keeping provision of rigorous punishment for setting up and operating mental hospitals without license. The approval was given in the weekly meeting of the Cabinet held with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in the chair at the Prime Minister's office today. The draft law said running of a mental hospital without any license would be a punishable offence, for which an operator may face 5 lakh taka fine or a 3-year term imprisonment, or both. The law also has provisions for setting up and operating mental hospitals and institutes under private sector for the treatment of the mental patients and providing quality services after having license from the authorities concerned. Besides, the meeting approved the draft of an agreement on trade promotion and economic cooperation to be signed between the governments of Bangladesh and the Czech Republic. The Cabinet also gave post-facto approval to a Memorandum of Understanding on cooperation in the field of tourism signed between the governments of Bangladesh and Cambodia. After the meeting, briefing reporters at the Secretariat, Cabinet Secretary Mohammad Shafiul Alam said the Cabinet adopted 3 separate condolence notions expressing shock and grief at the death of Fisheries and Livestock Minister Saidul Haq, former Mayor of Chittagong City Corporation and President of Chittagong City Awami League ABM Mohiuddin Chaudhry, and Parliament member from Gaibandha 1 constituency Ghulam Mustafa Ahmed. Cabinet Secretary also said in today's meeting the Cabinet reallocated the portfolios of 4 ministers and 1 state minister and gave portfolios to 3 new ministers and 1 state minister. The government has reallocated the portfolios of 3 ministers and 2 state ministers and gave portfolios to 3 new ministers and 1 state minister, aiming to introduce further dynamism into the administration. Civil Aviation and Tourism Minister Rashid Khan Menon was given the portfolio of Social Welfare Ministry, while Water Resources Minister Anisul Islam Mahmood was given the responsibility of Environment and Forest Ministry. Besides, Environment and Forest Minister Anwar Hossain Monju was made Water Resources Minister. Narayan Chandra Chondo was made Full Minister from State Minister for Fisheries and Livestock. AKM Shahjahan Kamal was made Civil Aviation and Tourism Minister. IT expert Mustafa Jabbar was made Posts, Telecommunications and Information Technology Minister. State Minister for Posts and Telecommunications Tarana Halim was made State Minister for Information, while Qazi Keramot Ali was made State Minister for Technical and Madrasa Education Division. Nuruzaman Ahmed, who earlier got the independent charge of the Social Welfare Ministry, was made the State Minister of the same ministry.
The first 6-lane flyover of the country will be inaugurated at Mohipal in Feni tomorrow. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is expected to inaugurate the flyover through a video conference from Ganobhavan. The construction works of the flyover has been completed 6 months before the scheduled time. Construction works of the 660-meter-long flyover started on 1st April in 2015. The flyover has been constructed with an outlay of over 181 crore taka. Engineering Construction Division of Bangladesh Army and Abdul Monem Limited jointly implemented the project. The Prime Minister will also integrate flood control project in Noakhali through video conference from Ganobhavan tomorrow. Festive mood is prevailing in Feni and Noakhali, centering the integration of these big projects. The visiting delegation of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation (OIC) has met Foreign Minister H. Mahmood Ali in the capital today and discussed the Rohingya issue, especially their safe return to Myanmar. The 13-member delegation reiterated OIC's position and assured Dhaka of continuing its pressure on Myanmar to take back the nationals in a dignified manner. Secretary, Bilateral and Consular Kamrul Ahsan and Foreign Ministry senior officials were present. The delegation members appreciated Bangladesh and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina for giving shelter to the forcibly displaced Rohingyas. Earlier, the OIC delegation has called on State Minister for Foreign Affairs M. Shahriar Alam. During the meeting, they discussed various bilateral issues, including the Rohingya repatriation process.
Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir has said BNP chairperson Khaleda Zia is trying to blackmail the people by lying, being feared of a defeat in the next general elections. He told this to the reporters after the Bangladesh-India bilateral meeting over India-Bangladesh Moitri Bridge 1 at Ramgarh Upazila in Khagrachuri today. Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Harshvardhan Sringla, was present. The Indian High Commissioner said in the last 10 years, there has been unprecedented progress in infrastructure development and connectivity between India and Bangladesh. Amongst others, local lawmaker Kujendra Lal Tripura, Khagrachuri Jela Porishad Chairman Kongjuri Chaudhary were present. Obaidul Qadir also visited the construction site of the bridge at Shonaipul area of Ramgarh with the Indian High Commissioner. Bangla feature film Putra, focusing the life of an autistic child, will be released on 5th of January across the country. In this connection, a press briefing on the film was held in the Dhaka Club today. Information Minister Hasanul Haq Inu was present as the chief guest in the press briefing. Hasanul Haq Inu said the autistics are not burden for society. Rather, they can be turned into resources through providing them with necessary care. He called upon all to enjoy the film with family members and hoped the film will play a vital role to change the attitude towards the physically challenged people. Department of Film and Publication under the Information Ministry produced the film with Jazz Multimedia, presenting and technical support from Impress Telefilm Limited. Highlighting social stigma of autism, the movie features a story of a boy with autism abandoned by his father and adopted by a mother who discovers his talents. Playwright and dramatist Harun Rashid wrote the story and script, while Shafiul Islam Monnu directed the film. Actor Ferdoz, actresses Joya Ahsan, Faria Shams Sheuti and child artist Lazim performed in the feature film.
Now international news. North Korea has reopened a suspended border hotline with South Korea a day after Seoul offered high-level talks to discuss Pyongyang's participation in the 2018 Winter Olympics. The hotline, which was suspended by the North Korea in February 2016, was restored at 3 p.m. local time today. South Korea was quick to welcome the gesture and proposed to hold talks on January 9th. Details by Mahbubur Rahman.
North Korea has reopened a hotline to South Korea almost 2 years after it was disavowed on the orders of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. South Korea has confirmed that it had received a call from the North Korea at 15:30 local time on 3rd January 2018. Welcoming the initiative, South Korean President Moon Jae-in spokesperson said the restoration of this communications channel was very significant.
The South Korean government welcomes North Korea's response to yesterday's offer to restore the Panmunjom communication channel.
Earlier, head of Seoul's Unification Ministry, Cho Maing-jeon, has proposed talks in order to arrange North Korean athletes' participation in the upcoming Pyeongchang Winter Olympic Games.
In accordance with the will of our leadership, we will closely communicate with South Korea in a sincere and careful manner and discuss practical matters regarding sending our delegation to the Olympics.
The North Korean leader Kim Jong-un had earlier said he was open to dialogue with Seoul and sending a team to the Winter Olympics in the South Korea next month. The two Korean nations have not held high-level talks since December 2015.
The government of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea will develop good neighbor and friendly relations with all countries which respect the sovereignty of our country and are friendly toward us, and make positive efforts to build a just and peaceful new world.
Earlier, on 1st January 2018, Kim Jong-un threatens the US and said the entire United States is within the range of North Korean nuclear weapons. Kim Jong-un also said that he has a nuclear button on his desk ready for use if North Korea is threatened. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump remains outspoken in his tweets. On 2nd January 2018, Donald Trump tweeted that his nuclear weapon was much bigger and more powerful than the North Korean leaders. Mahabubur Rahman, Bangladesh Television.
Iran's supreme leader has blamed external enemies for heightening turmoil in the country as the death toll in ongoing nationwide anti-government rallies has passed 20. The comments by Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's top authority, on Tuesday came hours before the US said that it would seek emergency United Nations talks on the protests in the Islamic Republic. At least 10 people were killed on Monday night, according to state media, taking the number of people killed since the demonstrations began on December 28 to at least 22. In his first public remarks since the rallies began, Khamenei said that enemies of Iran have allied and used the various means they have available, including money, weapons, politics, and intelligence services, to stir unrest.
Now news on sports. New Zealand beat West Indies by 119 runs in the third T20 of the three-match series and won the series by 2-0 at Mount Maunganui. Winning the toss, New Zealand batted first and scored 243 runs for 5 in the stipulated 20 overs. Martin Guptill scored 63 runs while Colin Munro scored 104 runs for the Kiwis. In reply, West Indies were all out on 124 runs in 16 overs, 3 balls, chasing the victory target of 244 runs. Andrew Fletcher scored 46 runs for the visitors. Colin Munro was adjudged man of the match and man of the series. New Zealand have returned to the top of the ICC's T20 team rankings, replacing Pakistan after winning the three-match series against the West Indies. And now to end the bulletin, a repeat of the top stories. Newly appointed ministers and state minister get portfolios, reshuffle of cabinet made. Cabinet approves draft of National Mental Health Act 2017. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to inaugurate country's first ever 6-lane flyover at Mohipal of Feni tomorrow. Khaleda Zia leading with falsehood considering defeat in next general elections, says Obaidul Kader in Khagrachuri. Ice melting on tensions between two Koreas, hotline launched for talks on participation in Winter Olympics. And at Mount Maunganui, New Zealand beat West Indies by 119 runs in third T20 and clinched series by 2-0.
And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch our 11:30 Bangla News. Until then.